Hello everyone, welcome back here to Canning Farms, and in today's video we're just going to take a break from the cattle. So finally, fingers crossed, they're going alright. So the ones that were sick and everything, we found out that they were actually resistant to some of the doses we were using and maybe resistant to penicillin. So that's why when we were giving them stuff to make them better, they weren't getting better and they weren't improving. But we got them dosed there, dosed them with Albex rather than closamectins or ivermectins or anything like that, and we'll use Levofast Diamond on the older ones. But just today we're going to take a break. I'm going to head into the shed, and what we're going to do now is we're going to put on a few bits and pieces that I got for the quad, and I have a few bits and pieces I'm going to make for it, mud flaps and different things like that. So we'll get into that now. So time for the first addition to the quad, and I seen Adrian from iFarm We Farm. I watched a video of his there a couple of months ago before I got my quad, and he had a set of these and they looked fierce handy. So they're kind of just ratchet straps, so what I'd be using them for is putting on my electric fence poles and that, and I have a box got for the front of the quad, so I'm going to put these on the back. That's them on the back of the bike. Now, the reason I didn't put them on the front is because I'm getting a basket for the front for the helmet and things like that, so there's nothing going to go on the back because I have the trailer. So, but these are handy just when I don't have the trailer on, just to be going out and getting the fence posts and these, and they just close, and then there's a button on the side that just opens them. Just clip it and it just opens out, so very handy. So that'll make life a bit easier rather than having them across your lap when you're going out. So next addition I put on the quad was this Moose front carrier. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut a bit of rubber, put it in there, just to cover the bottom, but it's just some place where I can put my helmet, or if I want to bring tools with me, whatever. Another thing I want to do is with the offcuts of the rubber I put in from the shed before, I'm going to make mud guards, because it does throw up muck onto the trailer. And then if I have some left over, I'll do is I'll rubber this. I'll just cut out squares and rubber this so that the dog can get up here. This fits now. I'll just put it in here now. Lovely. That'll just give that bit of a cage protection there, and anything that I have in it won't be damaged or anything. So next job now is the mud guards. These clamps is I just cut off these sort of spikes here, just to give it a flatter more. Now it's ugly as hell, but to get more purchase underneath, because it's just that bit short. So with them gone, it should give me an extra bit of room. Okay, that bar is on and it's very sturdy, so what I'll do now is I'm just going to drill holes through it, and then what I'll do is I'll put bolts into the flaps and hang them. Okay, that's the mud flaps done now. So I just bolted them on with 10mm bolts, and then the last bit where it's a solid round bar, just put a bit of a cable tie just to stop it flapping, but hopefully that will stop the muck flying up into the back of the trailer, and they look okay too. So you can buy them like for them, but I had the stuff lying around the yard anyway, so I might as well just make it, so save 50 or 60 or 70 euro. So what I'll do now is next is I'm going to put a bit of rubber up here for the dog, that he can sit up here when he wants to come. That is the quad configured now the way I want it. So I have my winch at my front, I have my moose basket at the front, I put in the rubber floor, I just cable tied that down so it doesn't blow in the wind. Then on the back then for the dog, I put in this mat because when he gets up he's holding on for dear life, and he'll get up with the something there. Have my koplin ratchet grips, very handy for posts and everything, and then I have my mud flaps. So the only thing I'm going to do, I think for the exhaust is fine. I don't think hot air will hit this mud guard, but what I might do is I might just buy some of that heat shielding off Amazon, maybe just put it on the back of this one, but hopefully that will stop all the muck flying up, and also give Ben a place where he can jump up and he can come with me on the quad. So that's everything for today. Hope you enjoyed this one. I enjoyed making things like this. I enjoy doing bits and pieces like this. So in the next one I have farm walks on the 4th of September. Nothing to do with YouTube or contract rating or anything, just they're gloss farm walks, and some of the planners around here use the farm here. It's just handy, it's in the middle of Mayo, and the yard is big enough that you can park a few cars around the place, and the land is all in one spot, so it's nothing to do with what I do or anything. It's just the farm is handy really. So they're happening on the 4th of September, so I have to get the yard tidied, so that's what we'll be doing in the next video. We'll be tidying up the yard and tidying up this shed, because they're going to have some presentations in here as well, so all this has to get tidied, and the yard is a bit of a mess, so I'm going to tidy that up as well. The plastic went this morning, I'll show that in the next video as well, and I'll talk a bit more about that. So my overall impressions, I've 25 hours done on the quad now, and it is unbelievable. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's like having a time machine, and I mean that in the way that by the time you got to the bottom field in the tractor or the Jeep or walking, you're there in 5 minutes quicker with this. And if you forget something, it's literally pop back up to the yard, get it, go back down. It's not a big ordeal of having to drive all the way back or walk all the way back. And especially there with the wet weather the last while, the Jeep was great and everything. It was fantastic. It was really handy. The pickup was great. But in the wet weather like this, she'll struggle in the wet weather. She'll kind of slip on some of the tracks. So this thing just sails across. And that trailer is, there's no point having a quad without a trailer like that. It's really handy. So I can put all my feeders and stuff like that in that, and I can bring down my meal in it, because I'm feeding it's like 160, 180 kilos a meal a day. So I was looking at them sheep snackers or something like that, but they're just too expensive and they don't do what I want them to do. So a few buckets in that is the right job. So anyway, I'll leave it at that anyway, and I hope you enjoyed, and sure, I'll see you in the next one. And remember, like and subscribe and share around, because I really do appreciate it and everything. So thanks very much, and we'll see you in the next one.